Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gamestack Podcast right here on We Just Love Games Network. I am your co-host, Vendertron. Joining me this evening is Miss Charlene.
Hi, how you
Hi. Hey,
doing?
girl. Hey. How's it going?
I'm so happy to see you.
I know I missed you.
It's been a minute.
It's been 84 years.
Feels like that every time, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's because it's like we do an episode and then like one of us gets sick and then we're off for 2 weeks and then we do
Mm-hmm.
another episode and then the
Then
other
the other
person
one gets sick.
and then
Yeah.
yeah. And now we're gonna do like a couple more episodes and then I'm gonna be off for like 2 weeks because I won't have a PC set up because
Yeah, you're gonna be moving,
we're
huh?
moving and yeah.
That's exciting though. It's exciting to move to a new place.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The space as you know it now will be a lot different. The coffee will not be there anymore. It'll be
Yeah.
upstairs probably.
You're gonna have a lot more space.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It'll be really
Yeah,
nice.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be bittersweet, I think. So
Yeah.
there's a lot changes as good as a rest though. How are you doing? How's your week?
Well,
As
I'm doing okay.
sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm
I
eating
planned
dinner,
it
so I
that
just
way, by the way.
shoved a huge chunk of chicken in my mouth. I apologize.
I was waiting for you to do that and then ask you how you were doing because
I'm doing okay.
somebody
I
has to keep up Rick's shenanigans on this show. So
I miss him. We should get him back on.
I know he's such a butt.
I'm doing okay. I've been super sick, so that's not been fun.
What's going on?
And I've been like very overworked, which has also not been fun. But those are just things that happen sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am getting over the sickness.
Good.
I'm coughing much less. I'm feeling way more human than I was for a while. So
Okay. That's good.
Mhm.
I see you're taking some meds there. Is this gonna be
Yeah,
is this a
no,
NyQuil
this is not a
episode?
NyQuil episode. That one was for diabetes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for making me discuss my medication
Yeah,
on the public
sorry.
podcast.
I'm
Appreciate that.
sorry. It's okay. Yeah. I mean, you didn't have to say anything. You could have just said, "No, it's not NyQuil, don't
Yeah,
worry."
it's
And left it at
fentanyl.
that,
It's
but
it's
yeah.
just that's just my fentanyl pills. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. You're listening to episode 199. 199.
Can you believe it?
So the next episode's kind of a big deal. What are we going to do? I don't even know.
Are you gonna do another video montage like you did for episode 100?
I'm going to try, but I've got to get that together in a week. So
This is not much time. We should try and get Rick on.
Yeah.
See if he's available.
Anyways, 199. This episode is called A Little Treat. Thank you to everybody joining us live for the live recording here on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. If you miss it, that's okay because we post the show to various podcast platforms and you can listen to it after the fact. Don't forget, show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. I hope still. I'm not sure. We should probably check up with them and check in with them and see, hey, are you still even selling our
You
coffee?
still even sell this coffee? Let's go check. I'm curious now. Okay, oakandcrow.com. We're just gonna check on this, make sure it's still happening. Artist Coffee. I had a bunch of coffees.
We need to make a new label, and I think we should like crowdsource it.
Yeah, there it is. We Just Love Games blend. There we are.
I think we should make a new label, Shalene, and crowdsource it in the community, and I will post
I'm
it in
gonna
the
order
Discord.
some.
Anyways, while Shalene is online shopping and enjoying her chicken pie, we do have some news to talk about. We have some gameplay. We're also going to go over the stocks, which have changed quite a bit this past couple weeks. Shalene and I are going to talk about our gameplay as well, and then we have a backlog of screenshots and stories, a stack, if you will, But let's hop into it with this just in. As always, a shout out to Joseph Tao, who helps us compile the news. We hope you're doing well, buddy. And it's always nice to hear from you. Thank you for all of your efforts to the show. Are you done shopping, or you want me to move into this first article?
Go ahead and move into it. I'm still checking out. I have to log into PayPal.
Well, if you think 40, how much does Twitter sell for? 40 billion? Okay, never mind.
I think it was less than that. I think it was like
Um
7 billion, 6 billion, something like that.
Niantic reportedly is now in talks to sell video game business in a $3.5 billion deal with a company called Scopely. The Pokemon Go developer is considering selling its video game portfolio to Savvy Games Group subsidiary company Scopely. Sorry, and this deal has
Mhm.
yet to be confirmed. Niantic nor Scopely have talked publicly about these negotiations, but Bloomberg claims that the sale may include Niantic's tentpole augmented reality game, Pokemon Go.
Mhm. A lot of people are pretty worried about this because apparently some of Scopely's other mobile games are very predatory with the monetizations. Not like Pokemon Go isn't. I mean, Pokemon Go's monetization is a little ridiculous. It's definitely predatory,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it could be worse, and it might get worse.
Well,
And
it is worse, Shlink, because let me tell you, Scopely was actually acquired by Saudi Arabian multinational game investment group Savvy Game Group back in July 2023 for 4.9 billion. So that's a thing. Saudi Arabia has been more and more active in the gaming market and esports industry over the past few years, having invested 38 billion via its public investment fund. The PIF has stakes in companies including Electronic Arts, Nintendo, Nexon, Capcom. It is also hosting the inaugural Olympic Esports Games, which are now set for the year 2027. The investment
mm,
has been controversial due to Saudi Arabia's poor human rights record, most notably on gender inequality and the criminalization of homosexuality, which is still punishable by life imprisonment or execution.
wow,
Um,
that's
so
not great.
yeah, maybe we band together and not support this kind of thing, but this kind of company. But
Yeah, Joseph Chow had some commentary on this one. He says, will Nintendo be brave enough to take Pokemon away if they literally sell to a Saudi Arabian company made by the Crown Prince, who is connected to and responsible for many heinous crimes?
yeah,
And we'll have to wait and see. It was already a little surprising that they let a Niantic do Pokemon Go at all.
yeah.
And we'll see if they allow them to continue with the license if they sell.
Well, Pokemon Go fans have launched a campaign to protect the game's future as the concerns have mounted over the sale of Niantic. And they have launched this campaign, which highlights the need to protect the app and its community from additional predatory monetization practices. A Bloomberg report stated that the Pokemon Go developer Niantic was looking to sell, as we had mentioned, and this sort of sent shockwaves throughout the community, generated a lot of fears, and people were really worried about, and still are worried about what's going to happen. And the one of the top users of the Pokemon Go fan Reddit, the Sliff Road user uh, Tetraline, says, for those unfamiliar, Scopely is known for games like Marvel's Strike Force and Star Trek Fleet Command. Many from those communities have voiced concerns over the overtly aggressive monetization tactics, including paywalls and pay to win mechanics. I know this potential shift personally fills me with dread. And as somebody who tried to play Star Trek Fleet Command, I
Mm.
actually immediately stepped away with it from it in the first 10 minutes because of the monetization that is built into the game. It is so bad. Unplayable. It's like going to a website riddled with ads.
I do
Um,
spend a lot of time on the Pokemon Go Reddits because I mean, I play a lot of Pokemon Go,
mhm.
and the people there are very scared. They are very much up in arms. There's just post after post showing like this could be the future if Scopely buys Niantic, and it'll show like spin Pokestop 5.99.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
mhm. So people are scared.
Yeah, I mean, other fans have expressed their concerns as well. Fan Miscus says, "I play another Scopely game, Marvel Strike Force, and the quality is declining year over year. Pokemon Go is effectively free to play, but Strike Force is powerfully a pay to win model."
Mhm.
And like no access to any of the top characters for 6+ months after they release, kind of pay to win. And
Mm.
then when you can access them, they're instantly power crept. Um, One other fan had pointed out that this was a similar warning to fans of the games, um, that Scopely would likely change based on how it had previously taken on things like the Looney Tunes World of Mayhem, um, and tighten the screws on monetization there. So
Mhm.
for Pokemon Go players, many who have played the game as part of real world communities to make friends and acquaintances who have met over the past almost a decade now, this idea of a change in game ownership is a real concern. And in response, the Pokemon Go community is being encouraged to make its feelings known to the Pokemon Company, the franchise overall owner, who will undoubtedly have an opinion on which company takes on the still lucrative and high profile game. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. And Eurogamer has also contacted the Pokemon Go company for comment on the potential sale, but they have not received any response. And that was because a Niantic a spokesperson specifically declined to comment. But
That's not promising.
yeah, so I'm sorry to hear that, Shalene. It's I know that Pokemon Go is a big part of your life right now.
It really is. Yeah, I'd be very disappointed to have the game take a downturn. And I, living now in a more populated area, now that I'm not out in the middle of nowhere, going to some of these Pokemon Go events, the community events, and seeing the community brought together, like Archon and I have made some new real life friends, you know,
Yeah.
that we see at these events, and we recognize them, and like, hey, I saved you this shiny Pokemon to trade. And it would be so sad to see this brought down by aggressive monetization and some of the worst practices in gaming.
So, what are you going to do if they do sell?
Well, I would wait and see, of course, because maybe they'll leave things the way they are. Maybe they'll just, keep the status quo. In which case, that's fine. Maybe things would get better. Maybe we're panicking for nothing, and they'll improve the game,
Well,
or maybe it'll get worse and I'll quit. It just depends. We'll have to wait and see.
the other thing I was thinking of is that Niantic has signed a copyright deal with Nintendo to technically use Pokemon Go IP, right?
Like they have a license, I think.
Yes. So, wouldn't it be that Nintendo would not accept this deal because it would actually hurt the brand that's way more important to them about money than any other amount of money that a Saudi prince could just throw at them?
I don't know. It looks like what Niantic is looking to do is to sell off the entirety of their game division. So they're no longer interested in having video games, basically.
Right, but the intellectual property for Pokemon Go is if it's only licensed as a copyright, then ultimately the selling of those assets would lie within Pokemon, the Pokemon franchise.
Basically, it's up to the Pokemon company as to whether or not they want to continue to
Yeah.
license the franchise or not.
Yeah. So,
So
I mean, we may be in luck. It may just be hearsay trying a hostile takeover that fails. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've t-
we'll have to wait and see, but we'll definitely keep you updated with what happens.
oh gosh, I was scrambling to find my mute button. Whew. Uh,
So
um,
our next article is about Marvel Rivals. The Marvel Rivals US support studio has been hit with layoffs. This is a gamesindustry.biz article by Sophie McAvoy. NetEase Games has confirmed that layoffs have occurred within a US support studio for Marvel Rivals. In a statement to PC Gamer, the firm said a reduction of the design team based in Seattle was made for organizational reasons. We recently made the difficult decision to adjust Marvel Rivals development team structure for its organizational reasons and to optimize development efficiency for the game. We appreciate the hard work and dedication of those affected and will be treating them confidentially and respectfully for their individual contributions. And this really does surprise me because Marvel Rivals did well. It was a successful game. So it was good. Like you make a good game and you still get laid off. Like this industry is such a mess. It's such a mess.
well, it's another reminder to the gaming community that layoffs
Mm-hmm.
and studio closures don't really have anything to do with whether the game is successful or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
They happen
Yeah.
only because executives want a few spare $1 million in their bank account.
The company did not specify how many employees were laid off, but confirmed that there are no longer any Seattle based developers working on the game. NetEase clarified that Marvel Rivals' core development team in China remains fully committed to delivering an exceptional experience and will continue to invest more, not less, into the evolution and growth of its game. Level designer Gary McGee was one of the people who was laid off, and he provided some insight on LinkedIn. He said, "My team recently helped develop and launch Marvel Rivals, which turned out to be a bigger hit than any of us expected. Unfortunately, my team was also laid off. Strange times across the industry indeed. Working on the Marvel Rivals team was a fantastic experience where my team allowed me to support them in abilities beyond my direct role." The game actually had a successful opening weekend, topping 10 million players in 72 hours. Our hearts go out to everybody who lost work, um, everybody who is looking for work. I hope that they're able to find a good, positive next step in their careers. It's always hard to lose a job, and it's been awful over the past couple of years, just reporting on layoff after layoff after layoff from these game companies. And it's really starting to
Well,
get to me.
the funny thing about this though is that so this is like typically what you would expect for like outsourcing. So you outsource
Mhm.
a small piece of development work in another location before you launch a game, and those positions end up just being eliminated once the project is over. But the only thing I think unusual about this situation is that the outsourcing was to an American location by a foreign company instead of the other way around.
That
And
is
so
interesting.
I think it's a little bit like it's interesting to see people wanting to boycott and like get up in arms about something like this when really this is just kind of something that you would expect more or
I
less.
don't know that I do expect it though in this case because Marvel Rivals is a games as service design. And you expect to see ongoing support, ongoing updates.
Mhm.
You expect that they're going to need the developers. I
True,
guess a
true.
reduction in force makes sense, but I don't
Well,
know. I apologize. I have a cough drop, so I
that
feel
is
like I'm talking around this
that
cough
is the
drop.
layoff, hopefully the layoff section of the show for tonight. We should
Hmm.
actually just make a separate section for layoffs.
Yeah, it's really getting me down, man. It's really getting me down.
Is like where is it? Where is it? Shalene, I got it here.
I have crippling depression.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Hmm.
carry on.
We're just gonna skip this next one because it's also just awful workplace stuff, and I've had enough of that.
Okay.
Um, this one makes me mad, but I feel like we need to discuss it.
Okay.
This is a gamesindustry.biz article by Sophie McAvoy. Thank you, Sophie, for writing this episode of Gamestack. Nintendo is discontinuing its Gold Points reward program. And I love the Gold Points reward program. Like, I have gotten so much Nintendo stuff from getting these gold points, and I'm so annoyed about it. Nintendo has announced the discontinuation of its My Nintendo Gold Points program starting on March 24th, 2025. Past this date, consumers will no longer be able to earn gold points when purchasing digital content. And this also applies to purchases using balances from Nintendo eShop cards. Nintendo noted that after the cutoff date, some retailers may continue to sell Nintendo eShop cards that disclose earning gold points. You may still purchase and redeem those cards for their full value, but you will not earn gold points when using the cards for purchases. Gold points will still be available for consumers if they have pre-ordered digital content or purchased a physical copy of a game before the cutoff date. And any gold points collected will remain valid until the last day of the month a year after being earned. Physical games that were released on or before March 24th are still eligible to earn points even if they were purchased after the date. And if the game was released after, it will be ineligible. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Gold Points reward program.
I'm just logging in to see how many I have.
Mm-hmm. You
I
can
don't even
earn
know where to
points
find
based
them.
on game purchases, and you can also earn some points based on doing activities on the Switch. Like if you download and play a demo, a certain specific demo for the week, you can earn some points. Or by playing an online game, you can earn some points. There are different little challenges you can do. And then you can redeem these points for actual physical rewards. This program is how I got my golden nunchuck for my Wii back in the day to match my golden Wiimote. That I think came with The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I've gotten all kinds of fun stuff, notebooks and pens and stickers and um, just tons of tote bags, just all kinds of fun little things featuring Nintendo characters, Nintendo game related designs. And you just have to pay the shipping. They send you your little gift based on the gold points. And it's neat. It really it made me feel like an appreciated customer. I don't know. Um it's a silly thing, but I really, really enjoyed the gold points program for Nintendo. And I'm very bitter to learn that it's going away. So it probably was just too expensive. It wasn't worth the cost to Nintendo, is what I would imagine. But I'm still I'm sad about it. It made me happy. And there are too few things in this world that make me happy nowadays.
I wonder if this is preemptive. Like, I wonder if this means pre-orders are going to start for Switch 2 in April.
Do you think maybe they'll have a new, better program to replace it with Switch 2?
Yeah.
Because this is an old program. It was in place back in the Wii era.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they have maybe part of the Switch 2's selling point is a new different UI that's better in some way.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think they'll be replacing the gold points program with anything better. I don't think they'll be replacing it at all. I think they're just killing another part of our childhood here.
God
We've
of
got
Radio
some
says Mini Radio is going to lose his mind over the loss of gold points. I honestly don't
right.
even know how many gold points I have. I'm sure I have
Mhm.
some, but like I don't buy enough games to actually accrue and like do enough things to.
Yeah, I like to try and do the challenges every week to gain some gold points and redeem it for rewards. I love it.
I do
I
hope
think
that
it's
they
so much
implement.
fun.
I hope they implement something else to replace it.
It's like getting physical rewards for achievements or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it.
It's
Yeah,
super neat. Made me happy. Sad to see it go. Well, you know what else is super neat, or so I hear? Nothing? No guesses? The
I'm
video
waiting.
game Avowed by Obsidian.
Avowed looks really good. Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? Rick speaks highly. He's enjoying it. This is a GameSpot article by Alessandro Barbosa, and it's basically just the review that we're looking at here, but it's reviewing really well. The game is largely getting some really outstanding reviews and mostly above average, and it looks like a pretty fun time.
It
I
looks like
think
something Rick would love. Dueling
yes,
pistols. Yeah, that's Rick.
yes. I think something that really has hurt the game is the uh inevitable comparisons to Skyrim, because
What
during the
is that
development of
even?
this game, everybody expected that this was going to be Obsidian's answer to Skyrim. But I mean, God forbid that anybody makes a fantasy based RPG that's not like Skyrim. Um, but according to Rick, this plays actually more like Borderlands than Skyrim. So
Mm.
I don't really care for Borderlands, so that was not a ringing endorsement for me. Um, but it does look like a fantastic game all the same.
Yeah, it is getting some
So
good reviews. Silior in the chat says I've been playing a lot Avowed and I really enjoy it as well. So
mhm. The character creator looks like a ton of fun. I didn't realize that there were pistols in the game. Flintlock pistols.
Flintlock wood.
Looks
Sorry.
really great. So, are you gonna try Avowed?
I mean, maybe if I can get it for like $10.
Do you have Game Pass? I
You
think
don't
it's on Game
understand, Shalane.
Pass.
I'm cheap.
Hmm.
I don't have Game Pass because I don't play enough games
Mm-hmm.
to warrant the money out of my account every month. So,
Understandable.
yeah.
I probably don't either, but and yet Game Pass is still there.
Oh, sorry. Carry on.
You ready to move on to the next one?
I am. Yeah.
Zelda movie. Let's talk about the Zelda movie.
I'm so excited.
Are you really? Are you legitimately excited for this?
Yeah. Oh, you're not?
Okay. No, I am full of trepidation for the Zelda movie. Are you showing this B-roll? I think this is just like a fan made situation.
Oh, is it
here
really?
that you're showing? Yeah, this
Oopsie.
is not official.
Okay, let me go find something else.
There is nothing official for it. So here's everything we know according to this GameSpot article. Um, Nintendo will be making another animated Mario movie and also a live action Legend of Zelda movie. And this is part of Nintendo's recent efforts to reach people in ways outside of video games. This movie is still in its early production process, but they do have a director signed on, and it is expected to come out before the end of the decade. The movie is a co-production between Nintendo and Sony Pictures, and Zelda's creator, Shigeru Miyamoto, is the producer of the movie. Marvel veteran Avi Arad is another producer of the movie. They're going to co-finance the movie between Nintendo and Sony, with Nintendo's financial stake standing at more than 50%, and Sony Pictures will distribute the film globally. And everything we know so far. What is it about? We don't know yet. It is safe to assume that we'll see some of the same characters, but we really don't know. Is basically the crux of this. We don't know when it'll be released. This article is funny. It's making me laugh. It's giving bullet points of like, what do we know, and basically nothing.
Nothing.
No casting has been announced at this time. Yeah, this is useless. This is not great. There's been no trailer. The director is Wes Ball, so there is something that we do know. Wes Ball was the director for Maze Runner series and also Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And he wants to swing for live action Hayao Miyazaki aesthetics with the Zelda movie, and he wants for it to feel like something real. What this exactly means is yet to be seen. He teased his vision for the Zelda movie by saying, I have this awesome idea. I've been thinking about it for a long freaking time of how cool a Zelda movie would be. I want to fulfill people's greatest desires. I know it's important, this franchise, to people. And I want it to be a serious movie, a real movie that can give people an escape. So basically, the crux of that is that we know very little about the live action Zelda movie, only that it is a thing that is going to happen.
I like how he's like a real movie that can help people escape.
Mm,
If you want to escape, just play Zelda.
I mean, right? I just don't think there's any way this is going to be good. But I did think the Mario movie was a lot of fun,
It
and I
really
didn't
can't.
expect that to be good
It
either.
can't be any
So,
worse than the Sonic movie.
is the Sonic movie bad? I haven't seen it.
It's like atrociously terrible. Remember how much criticism they got over how terrible the Sonic the Hedgehog was actually designed, and it was like that
Yeah, they
didn't
ended
even
up
look
making him change the character
like is
design before the
so
movie came
bad.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Who would you cast in the Zelda movie?
Jack Black,
Jack Black to play every character?
every character.
Hmm.
No,
I think he'd make a fantastic Goron.
um, who was in what was her face? I think Jenna Ortega would make a good Zelda.
Oh, absolutely not.
No,
I am
Emma
not a
Emma
fan of that.
Myers. Emma Myers would make a good Zelda.
Who is Emma Myers? I'm gonna have to Google
Um,
her.
she is. Let me pull up a picture here of her.
Oh, she's part of the Minecraft movie.
Yeah,
That's
I
interesting.
think she would make a good Zelda. She's got the face. I was thinking Jenna Ortega because they're in the same show,
Hmm.
Wednesday. Um, I would like to see. Yeah, like I don't know, cause like
The
Zelda.
fan edit you were showing featured Anya Taylor Joy, and I think she would be pretty great in a Zelda movie. I really like her.
Who's that guy that plays in Dune? What's his face?
Timothy Chalamet,
Yeah, he would make a good Link.
maybe so.
I think he would make a good Link.
It's really interesting because Link as a character is much smaller in physicality in
Yeah.
terms of physicality than most
So maybe Peter
movie
Dinklage?
heroes.
Like
So like it's
No, you're
it's
right.
it's just a very
He's like
different
when he
it's a
stands
different
next
look.
to Princess Zelda, he's like just a
He's a
lot
little shorter than
he's
her, you
smaller,
know.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. I want to see like I'd want to see like Purah. What's her name? Purah in Zelda?
I don't know how to pronounce it. I say Pura. I don't know if that's right.
Purah, the dog chow. I would like to see some of those iconic characters, but I will
Hero
only watch the second Super Mario Brothers movie if Jack Black is still in it.
Hero of Time in the chat says Jack Black as Navi.
Yeah, That's good.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, no, we need Danny DeVito as Tingle.
Who's
Danny
gonna be
DeVito as
Beetle
Tingle.
though? Who will be Beetle?
Beetle should be played by um what is that one guy's name? He played Zuckerberg in the Facebook movie. And he would be perfect casting for Beetle.
I see. I gotta look now. Facebook movie cast. That guy, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes, Eisenberg.
Really?
I think he would be perfect casting for Beetle.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
Mm-hmm. What if we just have Danny DeVito play every part, not
we,
just Tingle?
I don't. Um, and I think Lady Gaga needs to be all of the fairies, right?
That is
And I think
incredible casting.
that
Oh
would
my
probably
gosh.
be really good, right?
It might be even better to have like drag queens as fairies, like a different drag queen as each fairy.
Yes.
I love it. Like RuPaul could be one of the fairies. Maybe what is her name? Trixie Mattel could be one of the fairies.
Mm.
Like it would be great.
Mm.
It would be so good. I feel like that is the energy that you get out of Zelda Great Fairies.
I'm
Oh,
still
it's
on the
been really
hunt for
fun.
I'm still on the hunt for an Endura carrot for this one stupid fairy
Hmm.
outside of Kariko Village that I just can't.
Hmm. So, guys, when you listen to this podcast in like a month when I post it, please send us your fan casts for the Zelda movie. Not just Zelda, Link, etc., Ganondorf. Tell us who you want as some side characters. I think it would be really fun. So, um, our final article of the day is it's Joseph Ferris again. Joseph Ferris is one of my favorite game devs. He's the guy who made It Takes Two. They made that Prison Break game. And this guy just he never keeps his opinions to himself, and I love it. He's the gentleman who said F the Oscars at the Game Awards a few years ago.
Mm.
Remember that? Yeah, good times. Um, he stated that EA will never convince us to make a live service game after the suggestion that Dragon Age The Veilguard should have been a live service game. According to this Eurogamer.net article by Victoria Kennedy, he said, it will not happen with a Haze-like game ever, I guarantee. EA's head Andrew Wilson suggested that the Veilguard would have performed better if it had been a live service game. This is a remark that really raised a lot of eyebrows in the community. And former Dragon Age creative director Mike Laidlaw stated that he would probably like quit that job or something if a company ever suggested this to him. And Hazelight's founder Joseph Ferris, who's been published by EA multiple times, scoffed at the idea, and he stated that he will never make a live service game. That will never be his choice. This was during a preview event for Hazelight's upcoming co-op game Split Fiction, which EA is publishing. We do not have them. I do not believe in them, he said regarding live service games. I think live service is not the right way to go. I hope more and more developers focus on their passion and what they believe in. At the end of the day, we see clearly, and Hazelight is living proof, that when you trust in your vision and you go with it, you can still reach a big audience. And that's what I want people to focus on. I have an understanding that publishers have a lot of, worries about the money issue. But I think you also have to understand that we are working with a piece of art here. So you have to respect the creativity as well. They have to meet in the middle. You can't be focused too much on creativity. You can't just say, give me $100 million. I want to do what I want to do. But there has to be a balance. It can't just be towards finance. But that will not ever happen with a Hazelight game.
Mm-hmm.
Split Fiction is set to arrive on March the 6th, and I think we should play it.
I don't. Yeah. Okay. I honestly I don't know that I have any thoughts about this. I mean, like,
I just like to hear this because I think there are far too many live service games out right now. I am very tired of every game I play demanding 100% of my time and just wanting me to sacrifice my life to it. I I would like more games that respected my time. I would like more games that are the kind of thing that you can go back to, like uh just Oblivion or Fallout 3 or something like that. You can just return to it 10 years later and have the same experience.
well, I think we're moving
I don't like
into we're moving into that.
things like
Sorry, go ahead.
like there are, I love Sea of Thieves. We played many hours of Sea of Thieves together. And playing Sea of Thieves now is a completely different experience than playing Sea of Thieves 5 years ago was. It's the same with Fallout 76. The map isn't even the same. The locations change, the holotapes that are available change, the characters that are in locations change. It's not the same game. And while there's definitely a market for live service, I don't think everything needs to be live service. I think there's a surfeit of that in the market right now, and I'd very much like to see less of it.
I mean, yeah, EA knows that it's a cash cow, and it would be dumb for them to, like. I feel like, do they not get it that live service games are just like not working?
Live service games feel like having a second job. And that's not to say that I've never done it, because like even Pokemon Go capitalizes heavily on FOMO as a gameplay mechanic, and
Yeah.
that's something that I'm still doing heavily. But it's a live service game. If you really devote yourself to playing it heavily and not missing out, it's like having a second job that
Mm-hmm.
you're paying to do
Mm-hmm.
instead of getting paid to do.
Yeah. It's a huge time sink.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I wonder if this is why I really like games like Deep Rock Galactic,
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't coerce you into giving it all of your time.
So Deep Rock is a live service game, isn't it?
It is, but they don't really care about the season.
So you would say it's more of an example of games as service done right.
Yeah. Like, so Deep Rock has the seasons and live service all built into it for the people that like that. But it's incredibly grindy. And I have found with all of the people that I've played Deep Rock with that we don't play for the season. We play to play together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
To
fun.
spend time with your friends.
And it's not a huge time sink. Like you can go
Mm-hmm.
in and do a 20-minute mission. And if you're like, okay, well, I've like Tim joined us a couple weekends ago, I think last
Fun.
weekend. He's like, yeah, I've only got an hour and 30 minutes. And we're like, okay, we could probably do 2 or 3 missions in that time. And we did 3 missions. He had a great time. We all had fun. And that was it. He was gone. Like,
I
um,
missed him, and I think we should have him back on the show.
yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
But like EA doesn't care. They've got a longer laundry list of projects that they've benefited from, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder, like, when are these companies actually going to notice the obvious trend that live service games are not actually that beneficial
And
to the
it's
bottom
really
line?
funny because I just spent the last 5 minutes bashing live service as a concept. But Tasman posts in the chat, it's Foshnot time now, which makes me
Ah,
immediately want to dive back into Fallout 76. Da, 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 da.
you're such
Let's
a
get those
sucker.
masks, yo.
You're a sucker.
That's all I've got for news.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the news. Let's hop into the stocks. Okay, so the video game stock market has been a little bit weird the last few weeks. Sony closed out at $24.78, up $3.95. Microsoft tanked by $35.85, selling at $408.21. Nintendo up $3.28 at $19.13. Take Two broke $200, closing out at $211.65, up $26.16. EA also up $14.39 at $130.95. 10-cent games up $16.29 at $66.74. And Roblox is down $4.56 at $62.51. So lots of fluctuation, lots of change within these particular gaming stocks in the market, and yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how volatile it is right now, and I think a lot of it has to do with the current situation. Um, I'm curious to see how GameStop is going to do, given their recent um, stance on wokeness and DEI. But we won't get into that because that's a waste of time. Not that, not wokeness and DEI, but GameStop is a waste of time. But that's the stock market. Let's hop into mail.
You've got mail.
Any mail, Shalene?
We do have some mail. So this one, what?
We do have some mail.
Sips tea. Sorry. Okay. Scrolling up here, we've got one from RTZ back in January. He says, Happy Friday to you all. Cheeky poke here. What's your guess when Nintendo dares to release the first party title that won't run on the Switch One? So our community is already jumping in with that one. Day one launch bundle lol, says Fire and Gasoline. I agree with that. I think as soon as they release a Switch 2, the games will stop running on Switch 1. Um, he goes on to say, "What's your expected system seller?" Which I think is a really, really great question. What do you think is going to be the major launch title for the Switch 2?
Me?
Yes.
Mario
I'll
something.
Mario something. That was also what Fire and Gasoline thought. Gauze says Mario Kart feels like a safe bet, but what I want is a Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess remaster. Schneewolf is betting on a new Pokemon game. And Fire and Gasoline says, "Ooh, Twilight Princess would be fire."
I mean, is
So
it too much to ask for a new Animal Crossing, Shalene?
I think that a new Animal Crossing is a really safe bet, actually,
Really?
because yes, we've had mainline Pokemon games, multiple of them. We've had mainline Zelda games. We've had Mario games. I think that a new Animal Crossing would be just the right thing to launch with Switch 2. I also think the world
Yeah.
is ready for it in
Yeah.
terms of Animal Crossing New Horizons came out during COVID. It was the game the world needed at the time. And I feel like with the state of current world affairs right now, we could all use some coziness in our lives, and that Animal Crossing would deliver exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think if
I
like some of the world's leaders just played more Animal Crossing that the world would just be a better place?
yes,
Um,
yes, I do.
4 Mile in the chat is asking when is the Switch 2 set to hit the shelves? The Nintendo Direct has hopefully given us a full Switch 2 launch lineup of games as well as the release date, but we're expecting to be some point around June to September, I think, of this year, right? And the Nintendo Direct is April 2nd. Is that
hmm
correct? So that's
I
when we
would
will know
expect it in
more.
the summer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would expect it in the summer. Um, Hero of Time in chat says, "So help me God, if they remake Twilight Princess and it requires Switch 2, I will declare war on Japan."
Oh man.
God of Radio is so ready for a new Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I just had a thought. You know what would be even more stellar, in my opinion, if Metroid Prime 4 was the launch title for Switch 2. I don't think they would ever do that. Because as much as I love Metroid, it's not the system seller that some of the other Nintendo mainline franchises are.
Okay. True. Yeah, that's
But
fair.
I do think that would be an amazing, amazing way to come out of the gate. The new Metroid Prime.
Hmm.
Gosh, that would make my day. Would absolutely make my day. Do you want to do a little bit more mail stack?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay, this one also comes from RTZ13, who is the MVP of the Discord. Hello, here's a question for Schneewolf and Shalino and anyone else who got a new PC recently. What's the very first game that you did or will boot up? And Green Camps states, my first game after the new computer was set up was a main MMO or some low effort game, Stardew Valley, because I was stressed out for building the computer, and I needed the dopamine hit. Um, and I told him that I didn't have enough USB ports. I had to order more USB ports.
Yeah, and then we were joking about how you should just boot it up and play solitaire.
Yes.
Or Minesweeper.
Schneewolf says that the first game on their new PC was Command and Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars because she wanted that quick dopamine hit. Since then, it's mainly been Rise of Industry and 7 Days to Die because those wouldn't play properly on her previous devices. And actually, the first game that I did boot up on my new computer was Dolores, a Thimbleweed Park Adventure, which is a very, very low pixel point and click adventure in the style of the old LucasArts point and click titles. So you could run that on a calculator
Oops.
probably. So um, it was definitely nothing that was very taxing. Um, let's go ahead and leave the rest of Mail Stack for our next episode.
Okay. Well, if the mail's done, you know what's next. It is time for. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Screenshots and
Screenshots and
stories.
stories.
Oh no, we have a. I started a slideshow. Hold on here. How do I?
You had it on automatic scroll.
Yeah.
So what is this tiny creature that's like floating on a little
What
balloon?
happens
It looks
now?
like some kind of little, like a chinchilla or something. Is this a chinchilla? What is your primary vocation?
Hold
It
on,
says. I don't know.
my screen. It's just crashed.
Oh, it's crashed. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for it to load up.
So do you want to do something else?
Yeah, let's roll into our gameplay and then we'll come back to the screenshots.
Okay. Do you want me to start this time?
Yes, please. That would be great.
Well, as I just mentioned, the first game that I booted up on my new PC was Dolores, a Thimbleweed Park adventure, which was basically something that the developer of Thimbleweed Park was doing just to test out their new engine. And it was made using a bunch of Thimbleweed Park assets with no voice acting or anything, just a very simple point and click. It definitely didn't have the magic of the original Thimbleweed Park, though, so I didn't spend too much time with it. It was fun though,
So
and
how is your new PC in terms of
oh, it's great so far, so good. I mean, it's been running everything like a dream.
mm.
I haven't done anything super taxing. The next game that I played was Power Wash Simulator. Um,
Really? Tell me more.
yes, and Power Wash Simulator. This is on.
This
It
is
was a
like the
Game Pass
first
title.
is this the first sim game you've ever played?
I don't think it is the first sim game I've ever played, but it is the first one I've played in quite some time.
Hmm.
And it was just what I needed a couple of weeks ago. I just it
Right?
was so satisfying just power
Methodical.
washing the van and the yard and
Now you
just
know why I drive truck in a straight line for hours.
it was so satisfying. It was just what I needed. And
Everything
yeah, it
is
was a lot of
sparkly
fun.
clean now.
It was a lot of fun playing some Power Wash Simulator.
Did it make you want to like clean your own house? Did you go and wash your car afterwards?
I'm so sorry. I was trying to get to the mute button and I
She
didn't
turned
manage
the
to.
camera off instead.
I did. I turned the camera off. I was trying to mute for that cough and I just
uh,
at least you couldn't see me cough. I don't know. IDK, that's very important on this audio podcast. Ah. But yeah. It did make me want like a real power washer. I went out to my own dirty car and was sad and yeah,
that
looked at the
reminds
dirty
me.
walls of my apartment building and
It reminds me
yeah.
today I was driving. Just going back to your mute, I was driving and I was in the left lane and there was a car in front of me and they switched to go to the right lane, but they put their left signal on
Oh
to go
no.
in the right lane.
No, no.
And I was like, did that just happen?
That's terrible.
Anyways, yeah. Well, I'm glad you found some fun in Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah, I've also played some 7 Days to Die. I played one session with Archin's Thursday crew, comprised of Tim Twig and Jesse and some others. It's a rotating in and out cast on Thursday night, and that was really fun. It was very funny because they had been playing in this world for a few weeks already. So I jumped in as a new player and Archin just like pulls up on a
So
motorcycle
good.
and throws another motorcycle on the ground for me and he's like and get on the motorcycle. Like if you come with me
We
if you
ride
want to
at
live.
dawn.
Yes. So I'm just like following him around on this motorcycle. It's like my first hour of playing this game ever. And I have all this high level stuff. I show up at the base and they're like, "Hey, there's a bunch of stuff in these boxes. Take whatever you want." So I've got a full set of armor, I have a full set of weapons, I have all this stuff. It was so funny. And then the next week we did that stream and
So fun. And
we
if you
started
haven't
as
watched it,
babies. I
if you haven't watched it, go to
Mhm.
twitch.tv/we just love games. The recording is there. It was super fun.
I'll
Tell
post it
them
on the YouTube channel as well.
tell them about what
Um,
happened.
Oh, it was so fun. And we just started out, you and myself and Archon, and playing as a new character was such a different experience than jumping in with all these high level players who've been playing it for years. And we had no idea what we were doing. And
What is the
we're kind of
which
scared of
one
the
is the G key
zombies.
again? Like it was that level of novice. Okay.
Yes. How
Yeah.
do I bring up the map?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And so it was nighttime, and Archon takes us up on top of this water tower. So we're hanging out on top of this water tower, and I assume that we're safe up there, right? I figure that since he took us there, that means that's the safe place to go, right? And we're happy up there, and it turns out that's not a safe place to go, and we were making too much noise, and we attracted the zombies to us, and they can climb ladders, as it so happens.
It was bad.
And Archon left us there.
He
He
just
left us there to
left.
die.
I turned around and everyone was gone and I was still fighting
Mm-hmm.
all the bad guys.
Yeah, I was dead. Archon fled, and you were left alone. And we caught up with him later, and we're like, "Oh, he just left us to die." And he's like, "Well, I mean, you idiots were making noise."
That's
But
yeah.
at no point did he ever tell us that we needed to not make
He left
noise.
out the important information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because
He does that.
we were at the
He
top
does
of this
that.
cistern and you and I are walking around. Oh, look at the stars. Can we start a fire? Are we supposed to sleep on this cot? And meanwhile, he's standing over on the edge, crouched, not moving.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Well, you saw me. I was crouched in the corner." And I was like, "Well, yeah, you're boring. That's
Yeah.
what you do."
Yeah, we would expect you to stand there in the same spot for the whole night.
Oh my goodness. So we
Oh
ended up
man.
getting absolutely swarmed by these zombies, and it was so scary. And we were separated then. So you and I ended up hiding out in like a Winnebago that we found.
No, that was after. That was after.
Mhm.
We found a
At first, we were in that
garage.
little shed.
Yeah, we found like a shed garage thing and
Mhm.
there was a bunker underneath it or something.
And
Um
they were the zombies were trying to come in the windows at us, and I was
yeah.
shooting arrows at the
Yeah.
windows.
And then Archon showed up and everything was fine.
Hmm.
Yeah. But then
Yes.
Shalene got some sort of sludge lung and we had to go on a hunt for honey. Was it honey?
Hmm. It
Resin?
was honey. Yeah, we
Honey.
went on a quest to try and find honey to cure my diseases, because apparently I had 7 days to die.
Yes, she
So
did. Minutes to live by the looks of it.
we
But
were just wandering through the forest trying to find honey to cure my diseases, and
yeah.
um
And then we didn't even think about it, but night was coming.
mhm,
And the
mhm,
dark is full of terrors. So um yeah, and so we found this like junkyard that was like fenced in by a chain
mhm.
link fence and we went in there and inside the junkyard was a Winnebago and we hopped in there and it was like I have never felt more safe in my entire life. Like those people that go camping and there's like a tornado coming and they're like
Mhm.
they just go in their trailer. It's or those people where like it's Godzilla and you see the businessman with his briefcase, he runs into the porta potty. That was us in the Winnebago, right? Like it was just
Yes.
it was so good.
It was a really fun time, and
Yeah.
I think we should play again.
That's where we ended our gameplay.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. We
yeah.
should definitely play some more.
Mhm. Yeah,
And of
I
course,
think Forma would like it. She should play
I
with
think
us.
she would.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think she would enjoy playing it with us.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm also still playing Pokemon Go. The Unova tour is coming up. I'm really excited for that. There's going to be a research to get a shiny Meliota. So
Everything you just said, like I was like, am I having a stroke right now? Like,
I understand. I'm such a nerd. But I do really enjoy Pokemon Go, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm still playing that. Um,
okay,
that's it for me.
good, excellent. Well, yeah, 7 Days to Die is also on my list, and we kind of covered that. But I played some Sea of Thieves.
Hmm.
I hopped back into Sea of Thieves, and I played with Sulior, who's in the chat with us this evening,
Hmm.
and Shreds. if you don't know who Shreds is, she is the author of the official Sea of Thieves cookbook. And she's also an avid streamer and has her own online community. And so Sulior and Shreds and I hopped on a brig and we sailed around and it was great fun. We did Fort of the Damned. And then this sweaty galleon of kids rolled up on us and blew us to smithereens and killed us all. But Shreds somehow managed to bury all of our important pieces of treasure on Fort of the Damned, and they couldn't find it. So they left Fort of the
Nice.
Damned, and we just sort of like sailed around and waited for them to like leave or like get enough distance between Fort of the Damned and wherever they were. And then we went back and we dug up our treasure and we went to the ancient spire outpost and sold it all.
Nice.
And it was such a win. It was so much fun. We had so much fun. I really want to sail with Sulior again. I think that would be a grand time. Yeah. I think you would
He's
like
good
I think
people.
you would like DRG too, Sulior. I think you should hop on with Frankie and James and I and play shoot some baddies. We have a mod in DRG. This is going to be my segue into the DRG gameplay. So a couple weekends ago, I think last weekend, I played DRG with Frankie and her husband, and it turned into like an all-day affair. Like we started at like, I don't know, 1 o'clock Mountain Standard, which is like 8 o'clock their time. And we played for about 2 hours and 3 hours, and then Tim showed up. And we were just like, we were on the cusp of logging off for the day. We were like, okay, this is enough. And then Tim showed up and we were like fired up and ready to go and keep playing some more missions
Nice.
because like Tim was there, right? So yeah, so he had a lot of fun. And we kind of Sherpa'd him through the first mission, but he picked it up really quickly after that. It's not hard to get the hang of. But I have a mod for the game that adds googly eyes to all the monsters.
That is amazing.
and
You've sent me
so
screenshots
there's
before
like
of the googly
there would
eyes.
be like spiders coming, and they have these giant googly eyes, and it's just makes it so much better.
So good.
Yeah, it's so good. I've been playing my regular ACNH Animal Crossing in the mornings. Even on the weekdays before I go to work, I'm up at 5, and I have my Nintendo Switch on, and I'm playing Animal Crossing. It's so good. Except I'm running into a logistical problem because of the time of day that I play.
Yeah.
Because the store doesn't open till 7 a.m.,
Mhm.
right? So I have to make sure that
Nothing's open.
I have to make sure that I have a stockpile of shovels because the store is not open and I can't get shovels. But now I'm starting to run out of hardwood to be able to make my own shovels because I've been making so many shovels because the store is always closed. I really need to switch to like playing in the evening.
You're gonna have to play in the evening sometimes.
Yeah. But it's like part of my morning routine.
And
Some
then
people get up and
some
watch the
of
news.
the
I play Animal
villagers
Crossing.
don't even get up, you know. Some of the villagers sleep in, so you're just never gonna see them.
It's true. Plucky likes to sleep in a
Mhm.
lot. Yeah. Yeah. And Anchovy also. I do see Apple out quite a bit. And
I just love Apple.
and
She's such a
Gladys.
precious little creature.
I know. She's so cute. I feel like she's a little bit evil inside though sometimes.
You think she's got like secret bodies hidden in the backyard?
Yeah, I should give her some devil horns.
Mhm.
I did give her a halo and she wears
so
it
cute.
sometimes, but I should give her devil horns too so I know when it's a bad day.
Oh,
And then I can
yes.
give her like good gifts, yeah. Yeah, I've been playing a bit of ATS, but I've actually hopped back into Farm Sim. I'm now in the Farm Sim phase again, and mowing grasses and ditches because we have been living in Arctic hell for like a month, Shalene. It has been almost 30 days of minus 40 Fahrenheit. Like, it has been so cold.
That sounds miserable. That sounds
so
awful.
freaking cold. And the
If
last
anybody
couple
needs
of
me,
days,
I'll just be not in Canada.
the last couple of days, it's actually been like plus temperatures, and everything is melting, and I'm super excited about that. 4 Miles probably also happy because all of her animals that she has to take care of are probably happy about that too. But yeah, so we've been playing some farm sim, and it is spring on the farm. It's May. We're planting. I just finished planting corn, and yeah, it's good. Just playing on my single player. Anyways, let's hop into what the community is playing. Back with the B-roll. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. So this first screenshot comes to us from scrolling.
This is probably Final Fantasy 14 from Alex.
She
Yeah.
says, I'm definitely between jobs in Final Fantasy. LOL. And I don't know what this is. It's
I
some
have
sort of
no
cute
idea.
cat, but it has a
It's a
balloon
little
on it.
chinchilla or something, and
Yeah.
it's floating in the air, and it's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah, it's super cute. She also posted this one. My hat matches my eyes.
Her character is so pretty.
Very
She
pretty.
has a
Mhm.
violet eyes on her character, like kind of a lilac color of eyes with a matching beret.
We have this one from Zephyr, and he's riding a large chicken. I don't know if you can see.
And
It's
these are
kind of
called
dark, but
chocobos.
it's a chocobo, yeah.
Yeah.
This one posted from Alex. She says, you might experience a teensy weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck. This
That
is
has
sort of
some very Moira Brown vibes, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, try not to die.
Yeah, exactly. This one in what looks to be like a Batmobile. This is Zephyr. This is actually giving me what's that movie with Sean Connery and Notulus? The Notulus. What's that movie?
Not familiar.
Oh, I want to watch that now. Anyways, Taz posted this one. This is Sunset on the Farm in Farmer's Dynasty. Farm
Beautiful.
sim meets dating sim, basically.
Oh, fun! I want to play that. That sounds like such a good time.
I don't understand Farmer's Dynasty. I need to look this up.
So he said it's mixed with the dating sim. So presumably you're like breeding future generations of farmers, right? To take your farm over someday.
Potentially.
I think it sounds like a good time.
He also posted this one of American Truck Simulator. He says saying hello to an old friend, and it's a big picture. It's a big black truck. It's a Peterbilt, and he's got the sleeper cab on the back, the big smokestacks. It looks good.
Very fancy.
This one of Alex on a dodo bird.
It's so ridiculous.
What? I don't even know. Like.
That is the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen. That bird is so
it's a
derpy.
little bit silly, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing these.
Here's one from Gaz, Dave the Diver, and the caption is, I feel like I should text my mom later.
You know what? Me too. Same.
So
Same.
good.
We should all text our moms.
Yeah. And this one of Alex and Zephyr in the Batmobile, and then there's somebody in the back seat with like a Babar mask on.
I was gonna go with Dumbo.
Oh, Dumbo. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Babar was a Canadian show, so you know.
I watched Babar.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Yeah, we have lots from Alex because it's been a few weeks since we've done screenshots. This one is from Frankie. She says, this is my best score yet on mini motorways, and this was a daily challenge with only one roundabout allowed and bridges costing double road tiles. I got 3,865 completed trips. Here, it was the red team that I didn't see being a problem in enough time to correct it. And yeah, I like it.
That's neat.
I have to play that. Here's one of some cute frogs in Final Fantasy from Alex.
Aww.
And one of her on her phone. And we have a potato screenshot, Shalene.
Yes, somebody took a picture of their screen.
Alex's daughter is learning to play Sims 4, and it's
yes.
it's going. And it's a picture of Sims 4, and there's a horse on the lawn, and there's a pool.
Is her yard full of lava?
No, well, it may be the lava tile. Yeah, I think you're right. That is the lava tile, and
the floor is lava.
Floor is lava.
I can't believe that her little girl is so grown up to be playing The Sims already.
Yeah. Another
We've gotten to
Fallout
watch that kid grow up, and it's been really fun.
Fallout Skyrim-esque screenshot by demand from Alex in Final Fantasy. And this one here from Tim Twig.
This looks like a vault.
He says,
Vault
wait,
47.
which vault? Gabriel Belmont, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2.
How funny.
Yeah, it's good. This one from Zephyr, and it's a cat. Yes, kitty, I will obey. And you don't know there's a caption here. Well, if you're interested in an active something, feed me souls. Feed me souls, the cat is saying. I'm going to go back to my screen here.
It's what all cats want, really.
Oh my god. So while we're on the subject of cats for Valentine's Day, this is the chinchilla that you thought was a chinchilla. It's a cat, and there's like, it's a floating cat, and there's a little bench underneath it.
It's like a hot air balloon
they're
cat.
sitting in the bench, and then there's like little trumpeter cats with balloons on each side. It's so cute.
Little Cupid cats.
Melts
This is
my
so
heart.
cute.
Yeah. And one with a little chocobo. We have one here from Boost83. Mama Murphy isn't looking so well these days. I think the chems finally caught up to her.
Why is she a super mutant?
I think this might be a mod, yeah?
It has to be a mod. I feel like this is modding gone wrong. Oh, this is wild. She's like green and glowing and wow. Wow. This is not how I remember Mama Murphy at all.
Let's go back to cats. Oh, wait, this is an owl. Yeah. And then this owl kind of looks like baby Brewster.
It's a very cute
this
little
is
owl.
Alex's character in Final Fantasy, by the way. And this is, man, a lot of Final Fantasy. This is Greencamp's photo of a cute chocobo, and he's riding it, and he's got a fishing rod with something on the end of it, kind of motivating the chocobo to move. It's cute.
Sulior says that wonky Mama Murphy is from Fallout London. So they used the Mama Murphy base to do a character. Fun.
This one from RTZ13, he says, just to throw something different in here, I've been playing Hitman in the past couple of weeks. It is a game about assassinating targets on massive maps filled in with life. The more
Hitman is great.
The more hidden you can do, so the better. I know it's called Hitman, but if you play it right, you won't start a massacre. You'll spend a couple of hours on a map collecting info, learning patterns, disguising yourself to get into areas, and be as invincible as possible. On a successful mission, you only kill the targets and hide the unconscious bystanders, leaving no witnesses. Unconscious people remember when they wake up, so better not be seen before the thump comes. And this picture of, like, it's some sort of like shop or alleyway or something, and there's all these like Persian lamps.
They're so cool
in the ceiling, and there's like smoke and stuff. It looks really cool. Great photo. And here, a beautiful photo looking over a waterway of sunset. And I love video game sunset photos. And that brings us back to the beginning.
That was really fun. Thanks everybody for sharing your screenshots and stories.
We don't have any challenge photos, but Shalene, do we have a challenge this week?
Let's see. What is your favorite video game illness? Post a picture or a screenshot of a video game illness. I feel like that's apropos with me trying to recover, and we've all been super sick. It's springtime, so
yeah, yep. It's been a time. I'm definitely glad I'm over the sickness.
I'm currently down with the sickness. Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of down, we should bring the show down so that you can go and rest, because rest is also a productive activity. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget the show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee Blend. $2 from every purchase. That bag goes to the Children's Miracle Network. You can send us info. You can send us an email at info@WeJustLoveGames, or you can post it in the Mailstack channel. We will also read there. Shalene is on X at Shalene L. Our Podcast account is also there at We Just Love Games. We're also on Facebook.com/We Just Love Games, Facebook.com/group/We Just Love Games. Join our Discord live by going to twitch.tv/We Just Love Games and navigating to the About page. We record live 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on Twitch. But we are a podcast, so we're also on YouTube, iTunes, Apple, Google, Spotify, etc. Please like and subscribe and review. Thank you all for listening. Shalene, what is your last word?
You can have a new episode of Gamestack as a little treat.
Night all.